Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. But before we get started, I had a few of you suggest if I can show you guys the bag that I'm currently rocking at the beginning of these videos. So I figured why not? This was actually suggested to me months ago. I just had a complete brain fart, so I completely forgot. So I figured no time like the present. The bag that I'm currently rocking is my Chanel Le Boy bag in the new medium size. And for those of you that follow me on Instagram, this of course is no surprise because I have been photographing it to death. And it's funny because this bag doesn't get as much love as it doesn't get any love compared to any of my other bags. But I love it. It's so soft and easy to use. So my Chanel Le Boy bag for this week. It doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, but you never know because I'm so indecisive. All right, so let's get started with the first question. Okay, so Gurkab, just wondering your take on the new Totem series for Louis Vuitton, eyeing the Speedy. I have had tons and tons of questions as far as the Totem series that was launched last week. And I'll be honest with you guys, when I first looked at the lookbook, a few months ago, I was like, what the heck? These are hideous, blah, blah, blah. I don't like them, what have you. But when I went to take in my Pochette Matisse, my sales associate asked me if I wanted to take a look at the line. And I said, sure, why not? You know, I don't think I'll like anything. But I'm here to tell you guys, I don't hate them and I'm not in love with them, if that makes any sense. I feel that they're a little too busy for what I like. However, there is the Speedy, the one that, I don't know if it's the exact color, because there's two colors. There's the magenta, and there is a flamingo for the Neverfull, and the Speedy as well. And I don't like the flamingo. The flamingo is a very bright, it sounds exactly what it looks like. It's just a bright orange. And I don't think it looks very good with the monogram print. However, the Magenta Speedy, if that's the name, I don't remember if that's the name, I could be completely wrong. But there is a Magenta Speedy. It looks more like it's purple. There is something about that bag. I don't know what it is, but I am so attracted to it. When she brought everything out, I looked at the SLGs. I don't like the SLGs. I think they're too busy for the small piece that they are. But when she brought out that Speedy, I just kept going right back. I mean, back and forth to it. I like the fact that it has the colored interior. I like the fact that you have a pop of color with monogram that you can use when it's raining. So you can wear it year round. You don't have to worry about that. So I love that feature about it. But as far as, I like the color, and I wish they came in different colors as far as Speedies and with trying to incorporate them with monogram, not just the Noir and the Cerise that are in other bags. But yeah, I can't say I hate them. No, I can't. I take back my words that I said a few months ago. I wasn't in love with them, but those lookbooks do not do them justice. So yeah, there's just something about that purple Speedy and I'm not a big fan. I'm not too big of a fan on the color purple. I mean, I like it, but I'm not in love with it like with pink or red. But I don't know. You guys have to check it out. If you go on the website, again, it doesn't do it justice. If you actually go into the boutique and you check it out, hopefully you'll think the same thing I do. If not, I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But there is just something about that particular Speedy. I think there's too many things going on. Like I said, it's a little busy, but yeah, I don't hate it and I don't love it. Will I add something to my collection from the Totem series? No. I can appreciate them, but I tend to stick to the classic looks. I don't like busy looks. I don't necessarily like limited edition pieces. I appreciate them 100%, but knowing me, I will look at them as a piece of art and have it sit on my shelf, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to it. And for that amount of money, I'm sorry, I have to use it. So I wouldn't. Okay, Elaine Howard, do you think if Louis Vuitton did the Neverfull as a special edition with a zip-up top, it would sell and prove popular? I would be very curious on the outcome of this. All right, so here I have my classic Neverfull. This is the old one. It does not come with the pochette inside. And, you know, I thought about this for just a second, and there's just something... Okay, so part of me thinks that yes, it would prove popular because there is a lot of people, there are a lot of people out there that actually, that are not in love with the Neverfull because of the lack of security. So I think that if it did come with a zip up top, a lot more people would really want to purchase this item. However, I think that if they were to do it, they'd have to be very, very careful with how they incorporate the zipper. It has to be one that you can, it has to be very inconspicuous. The type that maybe it zips out all the way down, if that makes any sense. And that way you can kind of hide the zippered flaps on either side. So that way, when you look at it like this, it still looks like a regular Neverfull, but you also have the added security of the zipper. So I think that it would prove to be a popular bag. But at the same time, I feel that when you mess with a classic, you really have to tread lightly. For those of us that do not like the bandolier Speedy, trust me, I appreciate it. I like the fact that you can use it in so many different aspects of your life. But a Speedy to me is beyond classic. It is beyond iconic. And I feel that the Neverfull is kind of in the same boat. So if they were to do something, I mean, they'd have to be very, very careful, because I don't know, I think it kind of takes away from the whole point of it being called a Neverfull. You know, it's called Neverfull because it has an open top that you can pack it in and pack it in as much as you possibly want. If you put a zipper, then you're putting, then you're cutting off as much as you can put in there, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. Part of me thinks that they would, and part of me thinks that it wouldn't. It would do well. But like I said, when you mess with the classic, you gotta be careful. I love my classics, my Neverfull. So. But yeah, I think a lot of people would be very excited as far as security goes, definitely. Okay, Amy Jo, I was wondering about storage for Chanel bags. Currently, I have my items sitting in their dust bags, but also in the box. Jumbo sitting upright, walk lying down. I don't have a storage shelf like yours, so I thought the box would protect the bag a bit better from damage and possibly handling by other family members. Does the drying of the leather Does the drying of the leather weather dependent? Is it weather dependent, or will my leather dry out? It's not usually too warm where I am. No, you want to be careful regardless if you live somewhere that's humid or if you live somewhere that's a little bit colder. Just in general, you want to be able to make sure that the leather breathes. What I would do is I would actually put the items on top of the box, maybe wherever you do store them, but make sure they're out of the box. And as far as the walk goes, if you can, try to put that sitting up because of the quilts, especially if you have a quilted walk. By laying it down, by it staying, depending upon how long it's actually laying down, if it's only there for a few days or even if it's there for a few weeks or what have you, you want to be careful because the quilts can actually flatten out if it's laying down. So just be careful on that. And I actually thought about doing a Chanel storage video for handbag files this week. I don't know if my schedule will allow me, so I might try to do it for Wednesday, if not Thursday. But I've had a lot of people ask me questions on how they can store, especially their LVOE bags, because those are a little bit tougher because of the chain. So I might be able to do that later this week. But as far, like I said before, make sure if you can put them out of the box so that the leather can breathe and the walk upright so that the quilts don't flatten out. Even if it's lambskin or calfskin caviar, whatever it is, you want to be careful because they can flatten out if you lay them down. Okay, Nettie Ward, my beautiful Nettie Ward. What are your thoughts on the Chloe Marcie crossbody? Thinking of putting it on my list in the tan color. Okay, so the Chloe Marcie bag, I personally am not a fan of the crossbody. However, I do like the fact that the crossbody strap and the bag itself kind of complement each other in size. So it's not like it has a ginormous strap and a smaller bag. I think it looks very proportionate. So I think it's a nice bag. Personally, for me, I don't like crossbodies, but I think it is a great, great investment. If I was to get the Chloe Marcie bag, I would get it in the hobo. I love hobos in general, and I just like how big they are. The only downside for me is the fact that it's a little bit slouchy, but that also adds to the beauty of it because it's very carefree, and I mean, it has beautiful, beautiful leather. And you know, Chloe has had some misses lately, and ever since they came out with, I think it was called the Paddington Lock, I think that was the name. I had one of them. I loved that bag. Super slouchy, so that's why I got rid of it. But I think it's time for them to make a bag that's really going to stand out, and I really think that the Marcie bag is here to do that for them. So I'm a fan, definitely, and I say go for it. Okay, especially that tan color. Oh, that tan color is the best. It looks more like butterscotch, caramel, yummy, fabulous goodness. Okay, Kenneth Tran, do you ever plan on buying the YSL card holder? Since you say you like to try to put SLGs first. Yes, I will. I was actually going to head to the Yves Saint Laurent store, or the not the Yves Saint Laurent store, to Neiman's to see if they had anything like that, and I completely blanked out when I went this past week. But yes, I do look forward to adding that card holder first and then moving into a bag if I was to get a bag. Yep, I stick to what I say. Okay, Toyar J37, is it worth getting the Louis Vuitton flat bag, the Saint Germain, since they use brass and over time it turns ugly and no longer bright, whereas Chanel flat bag hardware seems to stay bright? And what is the deal with the Chanel boy bag? Are they still making them? Stores don't seem to have them in stock. Okay. All right, as far as the Saint Germain, I like the Saint Germain. I don't like the fact that it looks very similar to a Chanel classic flap. But I think that Louis Vuitton has come a long way with their hardware. You know, there's a lot of pieces there's some pieces that I have that are they're a lot older, like my clay is ridiculously old. And I think the hardware still looks great. And I think it's all a matter of how you wear it. Like if you're very hard on your items, if you're very hard on the hardware, I think it might be easier to chip. I say that. However, there are a few people out there that have showed me pictures, especially on Instagram, of items that they got a few months ago and they're already starting to chip. So I think it's just a matter of it's not consistent enough, really, is what it is. It's not a consistent enough product so that we can say, oh, you know what, in 5 years time is when it's going to start to chip. Do I think it's worth it? I actually do. I like the Saint Germain. I don't like the fact, like I said before, that it looks like a classic flap. However, I do like I like the fact that it's emprunt, and the color of the hardware it doesn't look like that fake yellow. It doesn't look like Pirates Gold Yellow, if that makes any sense. It's because I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean, so forgive me for that. But I think it's just beautiful, beautiful golden color that just complements the bag 100%. And you know, I do think it's worth it. It's half the price of a classic flap. So if you like the look of a classic flap, but you prefer the emprunt and you prefer the microfiber versus caviar, calfskin, or lambskin with the calfskin interior, I think it's give and take. It's whatever your preference is. And what is the deal with a Chanel boy bag? Are they still making them? Yes, they are. They are just extremely, extremely popular. I'd say probably within the last year and a half, they have really taken off, especially because when the boy was first introduced, I personally didn't like the style. It looked kind of funky, but now with all the new styles that they're bringing out, the fact that they have the new medium has really gone crazy, and they're still making them. There's tons of wait lists. When I was actually talking to my sales associate at Chanel the other day, she said that boy bags in general are almost as sought after as classic flaps. That's how in demand they are. That's how many wait lists there are. So it's just, yeah, they're out there. It's a matter of finding them, and when they do have them, it goes to the people that have been on the wait list for some time now. Okay. Andrew Delecta, I'm sorry. I'm wondering what your opinion is on the Hermes Apple Watch. Do you think that this in some way cheapens the fashion house or decreases its exclusivity? This is a fantastic, fantastic question. Okay, so the way that I feel about the Hermes Apple Watch, personally, I'd like to add an Apple Watch to my collection just because I like watches. However, I appreciate, and I think it's genius really that one of the most luxurious fashion houses and one of the major players in electronics, Apple, are together and they're making a product. I think that is really the way of the future. I think it's the fact that you can incorporate electronics and you can incorporate fashion and have them together. I think that's fantastic. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that in the future. However, as much as I like that and as much as I can appreciate, a step into the new generation, I like Hermes and I like Chanel and I like Louis Vuitton because of their old traditions. I like the fact that they stick to that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if it cheapens it. I think you know what? I do think it takes away from it a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know. I really wish that, like I said, I wish they stuck to their roots. Obviously they've been doing something Hermes has been around for a very long time. They know what they're doing because it is the most exclusive handbag, if we're talking about handbags, that you can get. And I think it takes away from it a little bit, personally. But at the same token, I understand that you combined two major companies together and they were able to come out with a great product. I mean, it speaks for itself, but I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I really do. I think it takes away from it just a little bit. I think it kind of takes a little blow to the heart, if that makes any sense. Okay, Sophia Bennett. What is your favorite designer store you have been to in the world? The store that has the best qualities and you loved visiting. Okay, so there's two. I literally cannot pick out of those two. I tried. It has to be the Louis Vuitton Champs-Élysées, on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, and also in Paris, the Chanel on Avenue Montaigne. I loved that Chanel. They had so many different items to choose from. It was like a candy store because if you asked for an item, they had it. They might not have had your size like I did with my espadrilles, but they were so nice. It was just such a wonderful experience. Same thing with Louis Vuitton. Every time we've gone in there, I've gotten the same excellent service. And obviously, because the mothership of Louis Vuitton at the Champs-Élysées has 5 stores that you can go and check out. I mean, it's just beautiful. You can literally spend an entire day there. At least I can anyways. I'm sure my fellow LV lovers out there will agree with me. But yeah, it'd have to be those two. The Chanel in Paris on the Avenue Montaigne and the Louis Vuitton on the Champs-Élysées. All right. Nail Junkie 242. What factors go into you deciding when it's time to part with / sell your luxury item? I have a dilemma. My boyfriend bought me a Birkin 35 in December 2013. Lucky doll. I very rarely use the bag because I'm so afraid to get it damaged. That's exactly what I would think too. I've mentioned to him several times that I want to sell the bag, but he strongly objects every time. His position is, I own the bag. If I ever sell or have seller's remorse, it would cause me too much to replace the bag. Please keep in mind that it's not necessary for me to sell the bag to purchase something else. I just don't see the point of a bag sitting in my closet. I'd like your thoughts on this, please. Well, honestly, it was a very, very nice gesture for your boyfriend to buy you the Birkin 35. But if you don't want to use, I personally think that if I don't use something, there is no reason for me to have it sit there, whether it was a gift. It pains me more when it's a gift, because I understand what that person went through to be able to gift that item to me. But at the same time, it's not fair for it to just sit there. So what I would do, I actually did this, obviously not with a Birkin, but I did this with an item that my hubby bought me. I loved it. I thought it was so sweet of him, but I knew I wouldn't use it. I actually returned it and I got a jewelry piece instead. I put that money towards the jewelry piece, and the jewelry piece I use all the time, and I like it because every time I use it, I think of him. So it's as if that money went towards that jewelry piece. Or you never know, what if you put that money towards a Cartier love bracelet or something to that effect? So it has a little bit more of, it's something that you like. It doesn't have to be Cartier, obviously. It could be whatever you want, but it could be something that reminds you of your boyfriend every time you use it. And it's something that you can use. So obviously with a Birkin, it's a beautiful bag. You can have it sit there and be a decorative piece, or maybe use on occasion when it's a very special occasion. You can do that as well. But personally, I would always, I would sell that item and just replace it with jewelry. Definitely, for me anyways. You can get a Van Cleef & Arpels. I mean, there's so many different choices out there. Okay, let's keep going. Chella Mejia was wondering if the Chanel card holder fits in your empreinte clay. And I actually have them here. Let me empty out my clay real quick because it is full. All right, so I have my card holder because this is actually what I've been using as my wallet, and I have my empreinte clay because this is in my boy bag as well. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out. All right, let's try it out, shall we? Because they look pretty similar. Obviously, the card holder is a lot smaller. It's a little bit thicker than this, so it might bulge out. Let's try it out. Interesting. All right, so what? It fits, kind of. It fits, but I have to put the chain out, and there it is. I am so close, do you see that? To actually locking it in there. So I can't. I think it would have been nice, I guess, but it does not fit in there. I wouldn't want to strain the leather any more than I would like to, and I really don't want to damage the corners on this beautiful Chanel piece. So I would advise against it. So no, it does not fit. Okay, Amy Maz, here's my Minks Monday question. I love the look of the Chanel Le Boy bag, but it's unlike anything I've ever used as far as size and structure. I do hobos and satchels, all large. Same with me. So what is your opinion of trying out a designer inspired bag to see if it would work in someone's lifestyle before spending thousands on a Chanel? I found a site where the bags have the looks but not the logos, and the cost is 75% less than the sales tax of what the Le Boy would be. I detest knockoffs, but I don't look at this as that. What do you think? Okay, so there are a few websites out there that actually are, as you said before, they're 75% less than the Chanel boy bags. And they don't show the logo on the website because that's the way that they don't get caught selling knockoffs. But when they ship you the item, it does have that logo. So I would be careful on that. Personally, if you tried out, like my dear friend Jackie, she went to, I think, Forever 21, H&M. I was at Target the other day, and they had a bag that looked, I mean, exactly like a Celine trapeze. Obviously, it's not a Celine trapeze, but it had the exact same characteristics. So if I wanted to try out the bag, I could do that. Personally, I would rather do something like that. And you're right, I don't look at it as buying a knockoff, as long as it doesn't have a logo anywhere, as long as it doesn't have anything like that. If it's very similar to it, then I think that's a wise way to go, especially if you want to try it out. Spend maybe 20, 40 bucks on a bag to see if it works out. But like I said, be careful on those websites because that's what they do. You can always go to Target. Like I said, Target has a ton of them. Target, H&M, Forever 21, all those stores, they sell for like 20, 40 bucks, and you can get an idea as to how the bag works out without having to spend those thousands of dollars that you mentioned. So I you know what? I agree with you. Although you won't get the same you won't get the same effect to a certain extent because you don't get to feel for the leather. You don't get to feel for the hardware. So if, you know, let's say you buy a bag and it falls apart within a week, obviously that's not going to happen with the Chanel. So you don't really get that sense. But as far as size wise goes, definitely you can try that out. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay, Sue Locked 2. I'm in Confusion City because of LV. I have bought the Twinset and Damier Ebene. I was all set to get the Alma BB and Damier Ebene, and now I am in such a quandary. Do you have an opinion? Can you help me out? I need a small hands-free bag that I can wear with anything and everything, and I love both of these bags. You know, the Twinset or the Alma BB. If you want something, I'm in a predicament myself. Okay, if you want something a little bit closer to your body, if you want something a little bit wider to be able to have up against your body, I think the Twinset is a better choice. If you don't mind something maybe a little bit bubblier, it still holds a ton, the Alma BB though. You can go with the Alma BB, but oh man, that is a tough question because they're not the same bag, but they have very similar features. I completely understand where you're at because obviously I'm having a hard time answering. You know, I think the Twinset is I think it's a great way to go, really. The Alma BB is great. However, as far as getting in and out, you have to, the zippers is kind of what bugs me with Almas. I love my Almas, but if you leave them open or if you need to get in there a little bit quicker, sometimes you have to unzip the whole thing, even with the BB. So the Twinset is a little bit easier because you just literally have to lift the flap open and then you're good to go. So for that matter, I would stick with the Twinset as much as the BB is great, but stick with that one. And I think you made the right choice. Okay, Linda Jaws. This is so crazy. As soon as I clicked your video, before even watching it, I was going to leave a comment/question for your next Q&A regarding Louis Vuitton increasing pricing while their quality and craftsmanship is going down. So I started watching your video and you're talking about possible repairs to your Pochette Métis. I was going to ask, what is your take on that? Do you think the price increase is justified? Do you think quality is decreasing? Okay, so I did have to take my Pochette in. They looked it over and they said it would take about 6 weeks. And my sales associate was, you know, she told me, she's like, are you sure you can part with it for 6 weeks? I mean, it doesn't really look that bad. Okay. I have had something on my chest that I really want to let you guys know. I love Louis Vuitton. I love the fact that, you know, I love my pieces. I haven't had too many problems with them. As I told you guys in the last video, lately I've had a lot more repair issues that I've had to deal with. And, you know, why wouldn't you want to take it in? But the problem is the varnishing. Like I told you guys before, it's not the cracking on the canvas, but once the varnishing cracks, it can get to the canvas. So I'm trying to prevent that. And I know that once it gets to the canvas and if the canvas cracks, you can't fix it, Louis Vuitton. So why wouldn't I want to take it in to get it repaired, right? So it was kind of like, she looked at me like, really, you really want to do that, Minnie? Yeah, I want to do that. I want to prevent it. I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to something with that price tag. I know some people might be thinking, well, it's like $1,600. Yeah, that's $1,600 that I don't have the luxury of just, you know, throwing away. And do I think it's fair that they're increasing their prices? Obviously, it's because of it's supply and demand. It's just, you know, every fashion house does that, and every fashion house has their problems. I mean, look at Prada. They are known for having tons and tons of problems, and yet they still keep increasing their prices, as they did a few weeks ago. They had their price increase. But, you know, call me crazy. Call me crazy, seriously, because part of me feels that I'm falling out of love with Louis Vuitton because there's just so many problems. I haven't gone into a store that makes me want to buy a bag and makes my heart sing. As much as I like the Louis Vuitton Speedy Totem and I like the Saint Germain, I like those bags, but it's not something that pushes me to want to get that bag, if that makes any sense. And, you know, their customer service has really gone downhill. And I just feel like you hear about so many problems about something happening. If someone bought something a few months ago and it's starting to chip, it's starting to tear, the unevenness of the design, you know, they pride themselves on having it be a mirror image of one side and the other. And I don't know, do I think it's fair that they're increasing their prices? Like I said before, I think that's just how every fashion house is. And I don't think fairness has anything to do with it in a sense, because so many people want Louis Vuitton, and a lot of us, you know, we've been in this luxury game for a while now, and we've kind of seen how it's decreased. So as people are coming in, they don't see that decrease that we have seen. You know, just like people talk about Chanel having a decrease, I don't see that because I haven't been with Chanel as long as other people have. So it's kind of the same thing. But I don't know. I feel like every time we take something in for repair, they always say that it's it's normal wear and tear, or it's this, or it's that. It's normal wear and tear, but we're going to give you a new one. And I know that a lot of Louis Vuittons are doing that with people now. So if they take something and that needs to be repaired, they say, oh, it's normal wear and tear, but we'll go ahead and exchange it for you, or we'll go ahead and give you a new one. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just fess up to the fact that, okay, it does have a problem or it does have an issue? I feel like they're trying to cover it up, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't want to fall out of love with them. I do love the brand and I love the pieces that I have, but part of me, I feel like it's slowly chipping away. I don't know. Maybe it's just the problems that I've had with the last few items, and maybe I'll take my words back in a few Minks Mondays, but that's just how I feel. And I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. So if you guys feel the same way, if you guys feel that, you know, it's taboo to say that it's, that Louis Vuitton isn't as great as it once was, it's not taboo. And I feel the same way as you do. So, you know, us LV addicts need to stick together. So if I'm crazy, you guys need to let me know. All right, but that does it, you guys, for Minks Monday Q&A. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. And like I said, I will try to do that video this week. If not, I will do it for next week. But we have some family things that came up, so we have to take care of those first. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.